How are you?
Hello.
Hello. Oh my God, we're getting back old school this week, I think.
Hell yeah. Um, does my video look like an ISIS video or what? Is this good? Does it
Hey?
look like?
Yes, it does. How
Yeah.
is your new place?
Well, I've got internet now, so that's something.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's why we
Yeah.
didn't do a show last week.
No, I should apologize. Well, we've both got to apologize. Last week I apologized because I didn't have internet and I couldn't make it happen, and I didn't even have 4G on my phone. Week before, your job, you had one job, which was to give the Zoom account to Adam Shell so
Yes.
we could do a reasonable podcast with the
I fucked that
proper
up, didn't
full
I?
paid version of Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't do that. Actually, you know what? You had two jobs. That was your first job. Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't do that, did you?
No, no.
No. And then the second job, after the next day, when you read your messages of us like yelling out to you saying, "What the fuck do we do? We don't know what to do."
Yeah. Yeah.
Said, "Oh, it's all good. Just send me the videos and I'll do the videos, send them back, and we'll put them on YouTube."
Yeah.
Didn't do
Yeah.
that
Did I
either,
do
did
that?
you? Sure didn't.
Well, I was in Hawaii.
Yeah, that's
Would
sweet.
you would you have edited video in
No,
fucking Hawaii?
I wouldn't have said I would. I wouldn't have committed to it. It was a terrible idea.
Have you got a beer?
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's IPA day, apparently.
Is it? Well, I'm gonna unironically drink this.
No, for fuck's sake. Oh, I thought it was the England bit.
No. No, it's a BB.
Why have
I'm,
you got a
I'm
bit?
gonna I'm gonna ironically or unironically drink a fucking mainstream lager on IPA day.
Oh, I see. Okay, you're doing a thing.
There you
All right.
fucking go.
So,
Nah, it's just a bit of chatter going around online about how fucking brewers shouldn't drink macro lagers and all that sort of shit.
oh, now
And
you're being a rebel.
what's that?
You're being a rebel. I've got an IPA.
I'm
Because
not
it's
being
fucking
I'm
good.
not being a rebel. I'm just calling out that I disagree with that with some of what people are saying that brewers shouldn't drink macro lagers just because they work for a craft brewery and that sort of thing. And as I believe with everybody, drink whatever the fuck you want,
That's
and no one should tell you what to drink. Least of all, fucking hunters and all that sort of stuff, and other influencers and all that sort of thing. So, fucking cheers.
cheers. Let me get a screenshot of that little bad boy.
Oh,
Show us
should we
the
do
show us
this?
the front there. Nice. Well, I'm
Bit
having
of
an
a fad. There's a bit of a fad going around. I think I haven't seen any of these fucking posts, and I just really don't care. But some brewers post about American brewers post about drinking like Coors Banquet and that sort of thing. Ironically, and I get it. I've never seen a post like that, but I get why they would do it because it's funny. And but I bet you those brewers, like making American brewers' salary, wouldn't be making a lot of money, and probably can't afford craft beer. So
Oh, exactly.
ironically, they'll drink a Coors Banquet. And you know who invented Coors Banquet?
Uh, I don't even know what Coors Banquet is. If I'm
Coors
totally
Banquet's just like cheap beer, cheap
just the
Coors.
entry
Yeah,
level Coors.
yeah. You know
Was
who
it a bunch
invented
of
it?
like female Irish singers from the
No, no, Chuck Hahn.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Hahn invented it. He fucking loves that beer. He raves about it all the time whenever you see him. Coors Banquet. He loves
Well,
that
there you
beer.
go. You can drink it then. It's
Yeah, exactly.
fucking Aussie royalty.
Well, Chuck Hahn didn't invent this fucking beer, but I
Well,
still like it.
the reality is that a craft lager doesn't take a whole lot. Well, in my opinion, it doesn't taste a whole lot different to a major lager. Maybe I'm
No,
not refined enough, but they all taste fucking the same to me.
yeah,
And if all of craft beers tasted the same as all of the macro beers, like every other category on earth, 90% of the people would drink the macro shit because it's cheaper. They got more money for advertising and marketing. It's much more
yeah,
accessible,
yeah,
and you
exactly.
wouldn't even think twice about it. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's bullshit. And that's the biggest challenge now, I think, because the macros are now making pretty damn good beer in basically every category.
Yes, yeah,
So
absolutely.
tough times.
And I would say as well to further that, and what's happening with the do you know what? Can we just agree on something?
No.
Do you know how we don't? Do you know how we fuck you? It's 2 weeks. I've missed you. Fuck you. And do you know how like we don't call it boutique beer anymore?
Yes.
Why
Yes.
not? So tell me why not?
Do you know the answer to this, or do you want me to?
No, I
You don't know
just
the
want to
answer?
get your opinion.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Why don't we call it boutique beer
I think
anymore?
because it took off to the point where most of the well-known beers in the category were not boutique anymore. The boutique has to be small.
Yeah, it was a thing, and it was a thing for a while,
It was
and
great.
then the industry moved on.
Yeah.
Here's my take. Let's let craft beer go the same way.
Well, it already has, sort of, hasn't it?
Yeah, fucking oath. Let's stop calling it craft beer. I think it's done.
Yeah. What does that mean though for the people making the product at a small scale?
Well, if you want to get, well, the thing is that boutique beer is no longer a thing because the major breweries commandeered it, right? Craft
is
beer.
that why? Is that the reason?
Well, perhaps that's probably part of the reason. And then craft beer has been basically commandeered by the major brewers as they go on, do their acquisitions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Independent beer. They can't own independent beer.
Yeah, you're a fan of that.
Love independent beer.
Yeah.
And that's where I think that that's what we need to call it now. And do you know what? Beer's got a real fucking identity issue. Craft beer has an identity issue, and there's been some articles this week about whether craft beer fucking appeals to Gen Z and all that sort of stuff that I saw in Craft Beer. An excellent article, by the way.
I saw that one, yeah.
And I didn't even know what Yugi. There's a word in there that I went, fuck, I had no idea. Anyway, so fucking if craft beer has an identity issue, change the fucking identity.
Yeah, I don't agree with you that independent beer is the answer though, because I ultimately don't think, because like boutique beer, craft beer was about the product. It was good because the product was better than what the majors were offering.
Yeah,
it was never about ownership. And in my opinion,
but now the majors are offering a better craft beer product.
Exactly. So it's a problem. But is independent beer as big a selling point? I don't think so. Like there's no, there's a certain group of people who care about independence, but to a point, like how much do even craft beer drinkers really care about independence in all the different categories of things they consume products in? Probably not a very big percentage.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if that independence is going to solve all of our problems, especially when the biggest one.
Or maybe indie beer.
No, that's just that indies are.
You don't like that?
No. That's like a word from the 90s that no one uses anymore.
Mm.
When have you heard the word indie except for in the 90s talking about music?
Music.
Yeah. Do they still talk about that? Indie music?
Yeah.
Cool. I know the word based. I learned that from my son.
Yeah. What is it?
Word. I know. I have no idea, but I know it's a word. Dude, stop messaging people and pay attention.
I'm not messaging people. I was checking if the trademark indie beer exists, and it kind of does.
You need to
ask for
a lot
beer.
to catch up on.
Yeah, rightio. Hit me.
And a lot of news too. So, Hawaii.
Oh my god. Oh, where do I start? My brain. I'm still buzzing from Hawaii. It was phenomenal. Taki Moore just puts on such an amazing event. I was absolutely blown away. To be in, there's 129 coaches there.
Jesus.
And
how many facilitators? He's like in one room.
One room. Yeah.
Jesus.
So Taki's got a team of about probably 20 people.
Wow.
Yeah, he doesn't fuck around, hey.
Yeah.
He's and in the end, he's just the guy who rocks up, works his magic on stage, and drops the mic and fucks right off. He's so cool. Jesus. And it was really good. I got to meet him, and as I said, I met him at the bar the night before the thing. I said, we got a mutual friend. He goes, oh, who's that? I said, oh, Dan Norris. He goes, oh, rightio, what's he doing now? And I said, I don't think Dan knows what Dan's doing. He goes, oh, that's a shame. I hope he sorts himself out.
I got some stuff happening. I got a few things.
Yeah, I know you do. Yeah. And yeah, wow. So I joined the program that I've joined is called Black Belt. It's very expensive, but I'm getting so much value out of it. The interesting, like there's coaches of all different teach different things, right?
How do you define a coach? Like what makes someone to coach?
Well, it's someone who has some knowledge in some sort of niche area that imparts their knowledge to other people.
So even if you're just a sort of a content creator, subject matter expert, you don't need to be a I don't know, a traditional coach.
Well, that's what they are basically, is subject matter experts in a certain niche, right?
Yeah.
And so I actually made a list in my Evernote of all the different types of coaches because it was so interesting, all the different coaches that I met. Let's see here. There was, where are you? There was, oh, here we go. There was a lot of fitness coaches. I'm going to tell you about one in a second that I met that had a deep impact on me. There was this one coach who teaches people how to sail their own yacht around the world.
Pretty cool.
There was a lovely
what are you going to
lady.
do after your business blows up after this event?
I'll come back. I'll come back to that. What am I going to do to blow up my business?
No, is that what you're going to do? Just sail around the world on your yacht?
No. That's what he teaches. That's what he coaches.
Oh, I know.
So basically there's people out there who have an aspiration to go buy a yacht and sail it around the fucking world, but it's fucking dangerous.
No doubt.
Right. And so what he does is he coaches people on how to prepare themselves for the journey and how to make that journey around the world.
That's fair.
Phenomenal. There was a lady that I had dinner with who was a fertility coach and coaching couples through that were having fertility issues. Now that's, incidentally is something that I've been through in a past life. And oh my God, that just having that conversation with her, I was just like, oh shit, you're just resonating with me. And we had a very deep and personal conversation about where I'm at now and where I was at then, and coming to the realization that I probably didn't want to be in that situation that I was in back then. And it was just fucking deep. And I was like, oh my God, it's amazing. There was one lady who teaches tiny habits.
Okay.
Right. So basically a person who just teaches you to make little life changes, tiny habits at a time. There was this, what was his name? Greg, lovely guy, Pommy guy, but he lives in Sydney and he coaches building and property renovators and developers to create profitable renovating and property flipping businesses and stuff like that. There was a nice guy that I met that teaches people how to go through the GAMSAT exam to become a doctor. I met this lovely lady. What's her name there? It was, and she was a coach that teaches women how to build a business from a place of low energy. Coach Sheila, her name is.
From a place of what?
From a place of low energy, right? So she's a Christian lady. Let me show you her picture, right? I'll share my screen here so you can see the picture of Coach Sheila, right? So that's Sheila, right? Now, her website's called Boss Lady Biz Coach, right? Okay. And now, Sheila doesn't look like this anymore. Right?
Okay.
Sheila's had a lot of work done, if you know what I mean.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
A lot of work done. And she's just got this, her hair every day is fucking immaculate. She's about 60 years old, fucking immaculate hair. She's got the fucking collagen lips and she's just got all of the fucking nips and tucks and all that sort of stuff, right? But she's got an absolute fucking heart of gold. Absolute heart of gold. And she's so, like, her energy, she's just so helpful and giving. And even on we had a coaching call this week, and she was like so excited to see me on the Zoom call. She's American lady. She goes, Hondo, and I'm like, fucking Hendo. And then she heard other people say Hendo, say Hendo. Anyway, she spent 5 minutes talking to me, coaching me through some aspect of my business with everybody else, and it was just phenomenal, and she was lovely. There was this other lady that I met. I think her name was Vanessa, and she coaches women, British women actually, but she's trying to expand to the US to set up their own home-based beauty businesses so they can add £1,000 per month to their household income.
That's very specific.
What a fucking noble thing to do, right? Empowering women who maybe have kids or something like that, but have a skill to be able to turn a part of their home into a business that's going to contribute to the household income.
Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal. And they were the sort of people that I met, right? Now, me, I've just joined the black belt program. So, they tier you based on your belts. You start at white belt, then you go up to orange and yellow and blue and up to black belt. A black belt is $1 million in revenue a year.
Right. So the program is indefinite, is it? Or
I've done his precursor program, his little taster program.
right, but it's not a one-off event. It's like a
no, but this is like an ongoing membership thing now. Right. And you commit to at least 14 months in it.
Right.
You stay 60 days, you committed for a further 12 months after that.
Okay.
And so that's a lot of money that I've committed to this for the next year.
Yeah.
And I'm basically a white belt. I'm hit the minimum. In fact, I had to beg to get let into black belt because I'm right on the bottom, right, of the revenue thing that they would accept.
Yeah.
And they didn't understand my niche. Right. And so I became the beer coach to 129 other people. Right.
Yeah.
And so, and there's a lot of fitness coaches there and a lot of health coaches and vegan coaches and all sorts of shit that don't touch alcohol. And I'm the beer coach. And a lot of people are going, who the fuck is this guy? What is he teaching? And then once they actually understood what I was doing, then they got a better idea as to how I help my clients and stuff like that. And what my niche is. And they just had that sort of lack of understanding of my niche. Now, so there's black belt, which takes you up to $1 million in revenue a year. And then above that, he's got a program called Boardroom, right? And so in the same room were coaches that were my level, the absolute minimum, and there were coaches doing $10 million a year.
Yeah, wow.
And we're all together. And we're all learning from each other. And the thing is, when you have a coaching business, there's no point me doing what that $10 million a year coach is doing because he's operating at a whole different level with all different issues in the business, that sort of thing. And so all of the trainings and all the knowledge and stuff is all tiered for where you're at. It's like, all right, if you're at this revenue level, do this, start here. When you get to this level, then you need to do this. And basically it helps to lift you up, right? And so I walked into Hawaii thinking that, it was called the Black Belt Intensive, and my God, it was fucking intense. And I walked into that thinking I needed to work on YouTube content, find a better way to do the YouTube content, find a way to get people to know who I am and what I do and how I help, my clients, the thing that I'm really fucking passionate about. And coming to the realization that, I thought the problem was over here, but they're like, oh, no, Hendo, you've got this problem. And, one of the things in particular, and you will see this, and you've probably seen a couple of tests if you're on social media and you're following
I've seen it,
Brewer account.
In the content.
It's just me testing the waters, right? And basically, instead of doing 10-minute YouTube content, which takes ages to fucking write and shoot and edit and upload and trying to do one a week, it's just simply not sustainable.
Yeah.
But Jesus, I can stick the fucking phone in front of my face and talk for a minute and turn it into a reel.
Yeah, short form video seems to be a no-brainer.
And that's the fucking thing. And I'm like, well, I can be in people's faces every day.
Yeah.
Right. And then they get a better understanding of who I am, what I do, the problems that I solve, a bit of my character, the things that I'm passionate about and all that sort of stuff. And I'm like, and I just did those two tests just for shits and giggles, right? Just to see if it would work. And it fucking blew up.
I've been telling you for literally for free forever to get on TikTok, right?
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm not getting on TikTok.
You got to get on TikTok, dude. Oh.
So what was like?
What result?
I was like, I don't want that Chinese spyware app on my phone, right? But then I went and downloaded. So I need to tell you about Tony, right? So one of the things that was really bugging me, right? Some of the takeaways, right, that I had from the experience in Hawaii was I spoke to this guy. I just sat down at lunch just randomly and I met this guy, he's an Irish guy, and he's a fucking triangle. He's just built like a fucking brick shit house, right? And I just started chatting to him, and I said, oh, hey, I'm Hendo, I'm the beer coach. He goes, oh, hey, I'm Tony, and I said, what do you do, mate? He's, oh, I'm a fitness coach. I went, oh, that's really cool. And he's basically got an online fitness program. Had his business partner Stephen there, and that sort of thing, right? And and he was talking to this guy called Cormac. He lives down the road from you, mate, and who's a graphic designer. And Cormac coaches people how to run an agency. Anyway, so so Tony and I just got chatting, and I was chatting about, I said we just started chatting, and I said, oh yeah, he says he does a lot of his content on Instagram. I said, oh, that's pretty cool. How many followers you got? He goes, 250,000. And I'm like, well, okay. And so I pulled up his Instagram, and this guy's a fucking character on Instagram, but he's nothing like that in real life.
What's his Instagram?
It's Tony McIlvaney. I'll bring it up because we got to watch some of his shit. It's fucking hilarious, eh? And so he's an ex-firefighter. He's built like a brick shithouse, and he teaches young 20-somethings how to fucking get bulked up so they can go and shag chicks.
Wow, okay.
That's the niche. That's the niche, right? Because he knows his niche, and he knows they're happy to pay for that result, right? And oh shit, let me just pull up his fucking Instagram, because you have to see his shit. It is hilarious stuff. And it just takes the piss out of like being a gym junkie sort of thing, and yeah, hang on a second. Tony, I just got to get his fucking thing. Tony McAlevey, McAleavy. Right? And his reels are hilarious. Oh, what is it? McAleavey. Sorry.
Oh, yeah,
and I've got to play some of his reels because they're just so funny. All right, let me just bring that up.
Jesus.
So he's just hang on. Okay, all right. I'm going to share my screen with the fucking
do it with
sound.
audio.
Yeah, I'll do it with audio. Okay. We won't get copyright struck for this because I'll just say to Tony, mate, I'm just use your shit on my fucking thing, right? So here we go. All right. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Please. What are 21 curls, you ask? Let me explain. It's where you do 7 half reps at the bottom, 7 half reps at the top, and then you do 7 full reps after the half reps. And before somebody says it, I know Arnold did it, doesn't mean it's fucking right. Like every sport, do we still train the way we did in the 70s? No, of course we don't, because that would be stupid as fuck. There's this magical thing now. We're going to say it for everyone in the audience. Say it with me now. Science. So we don't have to guess anymore doing stupid exercises like 21s. Why do we not want to do 21s? I'm glad you asked. It's time for Big T to take you to school. Whoa! Think, on any other movement, would you do half reps at the bottom first, into half reps at the top, and then into full reps? No, because it's stupid as fuck. As stupid as you are if you believe your mum got them marks in her knees from praying and not gobbling sausage. Speaking of religion, if you're the least religious person ever, drop me a follow, because I'm going to need a training partner in hell. So what should you do instead? And yes, I have a...
He's so good.
Wow.
So good. And that's what he does. He just basically...
Rode microphones everyone's using, like, strapped to the head and shit. It's so weird.
Yeah, because it's just close. Hang on, I want to watch... Let's watch another one.
If you're using this attachment in the gym, you're probably 1, small as fuck. 2, you're clearly not following the king. And 3, you've not made love to anything but a fucking pillow in the last year. Okay, well, maybe number 3 is just me. Nothing wrong with a little bit of pillow humping. Practice makes perfect, baby. Woo! Let the big bad wolf take you to school. Ruff, ruff. What school, you ask? The school of gains, motherfucker! So with this attachment on any back movement, it doesn't let you retract your scapula or fully contract your back, as it stops you getting the elbows fully behind you. Which means you're missing out in gains, boy. Just like you're losing out on how good a stepdad I would be to you. Only your mum would tell you that I've been pumping her for the best 2 minutes of her goddamn week. Wow. On that note, make sure to drop your stepdad a follow. Instead, use something that's at least shoulder width. This
It's so funny. That's his style, right? Now, the thing is, right, he's nothing like that in person, right? And but
how
he
did you
speaks
come
very
up with
well
this
to-
idea then to do that?
I think he was basically a personal trainer,
Yeah.
and joined Tucky's program and decided to scale it to be an international phenomenon.
Yeah.
Which is exactly why everyone who's in Tucky Moores, black belt, right? They're there to scale their business, because the thing is, right, is Tony could be a personal trainer in a gym exchanging dollars for time.
Mm.
There's only so much time in the month, or he could be out there helping more people get the outcomes that they want in life. Now, he's got a fucking crude message, and yep, look, if people want to go cancel him, knock yourself out. But that's just Tony being Tony, and he's speaking to people that he knows, and he takes the piss out of himself, which I think's hilarious. Yeah. And
I follow a few of those guys on TikTok. There's an Aussie guy called Adam Sullivan who's really good.
Yeah.
He just
and
does
the
that
thing
kind
is
of shit.
That, like, it just shows that it's a little controversial, because you have to be a little bit controversial. It's authentic as well. Because he doesn't say
juiced to the gills on steroids. Let's be honest about that.
No, he's not.
No,
absolutely not.
That dude's not just doing a few push-ups here and there.
And so here's the thing, right? So basically, I had a conversation with him. I said, mate, you must have a lot of fucking haters, because one of the things in my head that stopped me from doing more social media is just like that experience with Brew Cult years ago, interfering in my personal life.
Yeah.
And just shying away from social media and that sort of thing. And he just said, that's a separate thing for me. That's, you're talking to Tony the bloke now, not Tony the guy on Instagram. And I said, but how do you deal with the fucking haters, mate? And he goes, I don't. I said, what do you mean? He goes, I turn off all the notifications. I said, well, who manages your social media account? And he goes, my sister, back in Ireland. And I'm like, your sister? And so there's this thing that we do, where we can, do sales calls via chat, right?
Mm.
And he goes, I pay my sister. She does it.
Yeah.
And so she gets on. So if you write a comment and slag off Tony, right, you'll get a smart ass comment back, but it won't be Tony. It's Tony's fucking sister. It's so funny.
Whatever happened to authentic social media? It's not really a thing anymore, is it?
It's never been authentic. Fuck off. It's never been authentic.
It's just a scam.
And so basically he said, look, just gotta fucking send it, mate. He says, just you're passionate about this stuff that, you're passionate about beer and that sort of thing. And, just share your message, share your passion about the thing that you love doing. And I went, well, that just makes sense. He goes, and when you get big enough, pay your fucking sister. And so I was like, that's why I did that thing, those couple of posts there, and now I've just got to put a system together so that I can keep the consistency up and that sort of thing. But it worked.
Yeah.
Right. And
so do you get good views? How do you measure the post? You get look at the impressions or?
So those things got posted simultaneously to YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and Facebook Reel, and I was sorting out the technology in the back end, so they didn't quite get posted everywhere at the same time.
Put it on TikTok,
but it worked. It worked, and maybe TikTok might be the way to go. And maybe
one thing. The
thing is when I talk about like brewing and all that sort of stuff, I have a certain tone and voice that I use that's a little bit controversial. Ask any of my fucking students, right? How I am in the classroom. I think that's just the way you got to be. Is just be a fucking realist and not try and sugarcoat anything. And it just shows that you're authentic about, what what the message is and stuff like that. So, so that was one thing.
There's not
and
that
then
much good beer content out there either. Like I've noticed, some industries just, they naturally kind of become places where the content is just naturally good. Yeah. And now that it's all gone to short form video, there's I think beer companies struggle to make good content.
Yes.
And so I think if you go on TikTok, I see the occasional beer video, but not many because it's not very good. So I think if you put it on there, you'd probably be surprised by how well it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, look, I think it's inevitable, mate, to be fair, because the more I can get the message out, the better it's going to be. There were some really good coaches. There was a couple of guest sessions as well. You probably know some of these people because of your entrepreneurial shit, mate. Did this one session with a guy called Simon Bowen. Do you know him?
Don't think so.
No, don't know him. There was this guy called Chris Dufay. He was pretty good.
So
that was
these
another
people just fly in
interesting.
just for training?
Well, they are his clients.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah.
so Taki gets his fucking boardroom clients to coach the other coaches, right? And so I did this one session with this guy called Chris Dufay, right? And here's another thing that was a real fucking eye opener as well, because one of the things that Taki and all of the black belters don't believe in, they don't believe in the grind, right? And that was just such a relief, right? Because I just do not believe in the grind. My time is my time, and it's important to me. You know, when I finish on a Friday, I'm off for the weekend. I don't fucking work, right?
Yeah.
And they don't believe in that. And what they talk about is creating like a lifestyle empire. That's another conversation I overheard, which I'll come back to in a second. Anyway, I did this session with Chris Dufay, and he was talking about the things you needed to do in your coaching business, and he was talking about how coaches don't look after themselves. And he sort of talked about it in a way and got you to write down some stuff where you thought about like priorities and stuff like that. And then I realized that my priority, which I had been ignoring, was myself and my health, and that sort of thing. And I'm like, and I just looked at him and said, I need to take time out and exercise and go to the gym. He goes, that's right. And I'm like, fuck. So I joined a fucking gym. And I've been going like 3 or 4 times a week, and it's fucking great. And I'm sore as fuck, but here I am. And I go in the afternoon, and because the thing is, right, is that like I'll grind for like, fucking, easy to do a 12-hour day here, and I hate it, but this gives me a break to get out of the house and go do something. And because what do? I just finish grinding here in the office and go sit out on the couch and watch fucking YouTube or play a video game. Might as well do something that's good for my health.
Yeah, 100%.
And I'm like, oh, okay. And it's just like fucking eye-opening stuff. So, like I said, thought I had all this shit to deal with. And like, no, you've got this shit to deal with. And it was just such an eye-opener. I had an absolute ball. And I'm still buzzing from it, if you can't tell.
Nice.
And yeah, watch this fucking space, man. I'm gonna send it. Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm excited. I'm genuinely excited from it. So yeah.
So how did from now on, what's the format? Do you meet every month or
meet every week?
Meet every
week sometimes. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yep. So basically how they work is on 6-week sprints. So we've come away from that with I've got a 6-week game plan, and I've got a thing I've got 4 projects I need to complete in the next 6 weeks. 2 weeks I'm in fucking South Africa, but I'm still going to work on them. And yeah, it's very exciting stuff. Very exciting stuff.
That's awesome. Well, keep us updated.
I will.
Fuck, we got a lot to get to, Hendo. Hang on. Give us a quick update on the scooter, and then tell me what's going on with the Lexicon thing.
So stoked.
Let's talk about news.
Okay, so stoked about the scooter. So I was just like, this is the thing, man. I'm still buzzing from Hawaii. I'm like, fuck, I've got to get that fucking scooter going. So I got it out, had the engine out. I was like, fuck this, got the engine in. I was just doing little chunks of work and that sort of thing, an hour here, an hour there. Got as just a bit of an update, I pulled the motor out of the scooter. I'd split the crankcase. I've changed the crank bearings. I put the fucking new piston in, the Molossi 70cc kit in, new head, all that sort of stuff's all in, and got the engine back together, mounted it in, still had the clutch and drivetrain and all that sort of stuff out. And I was like looking at it, I got the oil pump in. It's like, put this oil pump in and the clutch and the variator, and I could probably get this thing started. And so I just like went, clutch, variators, like, 10-minute job and that sort of thing. And I went, oh, battery, okay. And had a spare battery and that sort of thing, and plugged it in, and didn't have an exhaust pipe on it, and I fucking started it, and it started.
First go.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Once I sorted out there was an issue with the spark plug not having a good connection, but as soon as it got spark, I was like, bang, and I was like, what?
Wow.
I rebuilt an engine.
That's awesome.
I've never done it before. It's like, it's if you're not in your engines, it probably means nothing to you. But I was stoked
Shit, yeah.
that I'd rebuilt this engine. I can honestly say I took that engine and I pulled it apart so that it was completely apart, put it back together, and it fucking started.
That's awesome.
I've never done anything in my life like that. And I was like super stoked with that. And so still a bit of work to go on it. I've got to get the exhaust on and get some upgrades to the drivetrain and all that sort of stuff. But it's not far from getting on the road.
What else you got after that?
So basically, the sports exhaust has got to go on.
Yeah.
I've got to get the air filter on, upgrade the clutch springs and the variator weights. But that's a nothing, neither here nor there. That's pretty well it. They put the plastics back on and off she goes.
Nice.
Which is going to be.
Should we do an over under
Yes.
or because I could win 1 point back.
Well, I'm away for the next 2 weeks. It's not going to happen this month because
that's fair.
the rest of this month I'm in South Africa and then down the coast for BrewCon and that sort of thing. So
yeah. Wow, that's coming up. When's that? That's like
yeah, at the 21st. We're down the Gold Coast the Saturday before. Yeah. We're going to the Suns Carlton game.
Oh, really? Suns just beat Brisbane.
Yeah, me and PK and Ryan. We're going to the Suns.
Really?
Yeah, you want to come?
Fuck yeah, I'll come for sure.
All right.
Have you already bought tickets?
Yeah, but we can sort. Yeah, they don't sell many tickets, do they?
Depends what the game is. Carlton, maybe not.
All right, let me pop a message in the chat and see if
What's
Alice
the date
will
of
get your
that
ticket. It is Saturday, the
26th.
26th. Yeah. No, hang on a second. No, Saturday the 19th.
Oh, 19th. Yeah. What's going on with my calendar? It's been weird as shit. Fuck yeah, I'll come. I went to a Suns game 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's good.
Yeah. I'll stick this in the chat, mate.
The game I went to was the 2 days after the coach was sacked. So it was like a little bit awkward.
I know the tickets. I know the seats.
All right.
If you want to buy tickets, I'll give that to you offline, mate.
Send it to me. If I can get a spot near you, I will. Otherwise, I won't. I'm not going to go there and sit by myself.
No, don't do that. But it won't. But if it's not crowded, I'll chuck it in the chat, mate. Oops.
Do it on Facebook, not on here, because I'll
yeah, of course. There you go.
Okay, let's All right, we won't do an over under for that. What about Lexicon Half? Give us an update on that. What's happening? It's quick. It's got to be quick.
So basically, here we fucking go again. My apartment is getting more paint. So the Body Corporate, which I'm the chairperson of, we approved upgrade of all the people doors. So everybody's apartment door and all the garage doors are all being replaced. That all that work's kicked off this week, and all of the painting's happening next. So the doors getting installed this week. All the painting's happening next week, and they're like, "What color do you want the doors?"
What color is the outside building? It's just brick, isn't it?
It's brick, yeah. But the doors are a certain color, right?
Okay.
And so basically, I'm at Hiker today. I was picking up some stuff that I had posted there, and the painter rings me up and he goes, "Oh, hey, I'm the painter of the doors and that sort of thing." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." He goes, "What color do you want?" And I'm like, Lexicon Half. I said, "Is Lexicon Half an option?" He goes, "Oh, probably not for your doors." Right. That's the thing. I said, "Yeah, I've actually done vivid white for my doors. I did the renovations a while ago." He goes, "Well, that's actually, we can do that for the inside doors." I'm like, "Fuck yeah, you can match that shit up when you put your new door in. Sick." And I said, "Well, what about the external thing?" And he goes, "Oh, Colorbond Surf Mist is a really good color."
That's the color I painted my roof. That was the color I used.
Surf Mist? Yeah. And I'm like, he says, because it's basically a little bit of grey and a little bit of ochre in there, and it's really, really good. And I'm like, okay, cool. I said, "Look, I don't know the color, but I'll go to Bunnings and I'll get some swatches and go and have a look." And so I go to fucking Bunnings, and what have they got? Like, they've got the fucking Lexicon Half, Vivid White, Colorbond, fucking
all together.
Surf Mist, all together as a team.
Wow.
So guess what's happening?
Lexicon Half.
No. So all the garage doors are going to get Colorbond Surf Mist inside and out because they're garages. It doesn't fucking matter. But Vivid White and Lexicon Half is what's in here. And then I get the Surf Mist on the outside. So I fucking nailed this, man.
Nice.
Right?
They didn't know how much of a professional you were when they gave you this job.
Well, I won't actually see him because I'm going to be in South Africa next week. But he will get access to my apartment. And I hope he admires my fucking handiwork because there's a lot of handiwork that went into that.
He will. He'll come in and be like, "I see why he's chosen these colors."
Yeah.
Dude knows his Dulux.
Oh, hang on a second. Oh, Ryan's buying you tickets to the footy.
Nice.
Oh, sick. Oh, I'll tell him a star.
Legend. That's awesome. Thanks, Ryan. Oh, that'll be fun.
Right, you're in for the footy, mate.
Hell yeah. I love the Suns. They're doing good at the moment too. We just beat Brisbane for the first time in like 6 years.
We're going to be so we're going to come down early to the Gold Coast on the Saturday. We're staying at an apartment down at Broadbeach.
Yeah.
I think you get a bus from the tram stop at Broadbeach out.
Yeah, easy. Yeah.
Is it easy to get out and that and everything?
Yeah.
Fucking great. Yeah, so we're staying there. We'll just do that. We'll just meet you somewhere, get a beer or something, get on the bus.
Fuck yeah. Well, I live in Isle of Capri now, so I wonder if I could probably just get I might even be able to tram to the Broadbeach. I don't know.
To Broadbeach, yeah.
Probably.
How is the new house?
It's pretty good. Got internet now.
What was it called? It's not. Someone said to me today, it's not the Danch and it has a name.
I don't think it has a name. It'd be good to have a name.
Yeah. Well, if you're in the Facebook group, maybe you can suggest a name for Dan's new. It's not a Danchin.
No.
It's on the canal, isn't it?
It's on the river. So
or is it a Denau?
Denau, yeah. That's okay. Well, let's get some better ideas than that, but that's all right. It's pretty cool. The house is old, which is like it's actually a little bit of a relief because I'm coming from a brand new house with a bunch of kids in it, which is pretty fucking stressful. And this house is kind of like, I mean, we're just renting it. It's just kind of, I'm not that worried about shit. You know what I mean? Like in the other house, it was my house, which is brand new. And then it was someone else's house for 2 months after I'd sold it. It only settled yesterday. So for the last 2 months, I've been basically living in someone else's house, just like freaking out every time a kid touches a wall type thing.
Yeah, of course.
So it's actually, to get it moved in was quite a bit of a relief. And I love living on the river. It's fucking cool. There's always shit going on out there. It's fun.
Yeah.
So I want to buy a little tinny. I actually put some bids in yesterday on one on Lloyd's, but I didn't get it.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Having a tinny is sick.
Yeah.
I always wanted one. When I was grew up on the Gold Coast, I always wanted a tinny.
Yeah, I used to have one, but I didn't live on the water. I was quite a fair way from the water, so it was kind of a bit of effort, but I can just...
Have you got a boat ramp on your property?
I don't have a boat ramp, but I reckon I can figure it out with a bit of ingenuity, you know?
Have you got a jetty?
Don't have a jetty either.
Have you got like a beach? Sand?
Got a beach. You're not really supposed to leave boats on the beach.
Boats. No, that's right.
But at the very worst, I can sort of put it in Friday and leave it there for the weekend type thing. But I think I can probably figure out a way to get one that can be slid up the beach a little bit. And like a lot of people do that, no one seems to give a shit. If the neighbor complains, they'll complain. But
yeah.
It's actually cool. I'm at the end of like a little outlet that looks over the river, so it's probably only 50 meters to the main river. So you see all kinds of shit out there. It's pretty wild. The fucking jet skis on that river. God damn it, they go fast.
A lot of bogans.
Yeah, so many bogans.
Are they all bogans?
Yeah, 100%. It's awesome. So some dude in like a black, like full on like Miami Vice type fucking speedboat thing, like bald head, like probably a porn star, drug dealer, both. I don't even know. He's like flew past. It was sick. Party boats.
Isn't it supposed to be like 6 knots?
Not on the river, no.
Oh, so it's the river you're on, not a canal.
Yeah, well, no. So there's a little canal that comes off the river. So I look down the canal. So you don't get all of the wash and the noise and stuff. But we're probably 50 meters, and the river's right there, so you can see the river.
Yeah, right.
So it's kind of it's the best of both worlds. You can see all the activity, but you're not so close to it that it's like pissing you off.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, Sunday it's like every 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, there's a different vessel cruising past. It's cool. I really like it.
Mm-hmm.
We've got swans visiting to get fed in the morning. Tilly feeds them in the morning.
Yeah, awesome.
That's cool. I like it.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
All right. Craft beer. Yeah. Also, I'll have some updates too. Maybe not this week, but I'll give my updates in a couple of weeks or two. A week or two. Because
updates about what?
Stuff going on.
Okay, then.
This week, my house settled, and I'm purchasing 2 businesses.
Two businesses?
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't fucking one enough?
it'll be sort of 3-ish if you consider the other stuff I've got going on. So yeah,
Awesome.
it's gonna be. Yeah, no, I'm going the other route. I'm going instead of just putting 100% of everything into one thing. I'm going to work on a bunch of different things.
Good.
And
I love doing that.
yeah, I've never done that. I've always just been 100%.
You've got to have you've got to have the variety and that sort of thing, and it's super awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've actually been
checking out
working on this.
You don't mind me checking out your AFL seats? Here we go.
Yeah, let's go.
So red hour is our section, blue hour is about. Oh, you can be in the next section over. Is that all right?
No, I'm not going to sit by myself.
Oh, okay. Do you have StubHub? Oh no, I think you're done. Oh no, hang on. You'd be like 5. Yeah, it's true. Let's,
it'd be weird.
What do I do?
It'd be weird. Nah, it's all good. I'll catch up with you guys somewhere before or after or something like that.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to go
Too easy.
Stuff. That'd be weird.
Okay. I'll just say that.
That's nice though. I appreciate the gesture.
That's what I'm going to say.
Yes. All right. We're fucking hour 20 and I'm actually gonna move rooms.
I'm gonna have another beer.
Oh yeah, what do you got?
I've got I'm sick. I was told about this today. I've got a hiker beer.
Oh, nice.
I've got the
Let me get a
hiker
screenshot
voyage.
of that. So I'm not promoting VB.
Not very VB. Yeah, it's a good idea.
Nice. What's Voyage? Hang on. I'm gonna move
it is a British India Pale Ale, 440 mils. Let's.
Oh, there you go. So you've
puppy.
Your IPA day. You good? Good to go.
Oh shit. Bit of a fucking mess. Bit of a mess. Where are we going?
I'm moving rooms because I don't like this room anymore. I'm going.
Oh, this is fucked. I've got to get a tissue.
There's people.
I'm so fucking sore from the fucking gym.
What do you do at the gym?
Personal,
Do you do like
I've got a personal trainer.
What do you do? What do you do at the gym?
He fucking destroys me.
Like circuit.
His name's Cohen. His name's Cohen, the fucking destroyer. The destroyer of
what
muscles.
What exercises do you do?
The painful ones. You don't feel it at the time. You'll do the exercise and he'll make you do it until you fucking can't do it anymore. And he goes, "Did you feel that?" I'm like, "Yes." And he goes, "Where'd you feel it?" I'm like, "I don't know." But you find out the next day. Oh my God.
So is it
Anyway.
heavy weights or is it like
Yeah.
repetitions and
Cohen has decided that because I have lost a significant amount of weight this year, that I probably need to put a few kilos on.
Oh wow. Okay.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, we got ideas for these footy tickets.
What do you mean?
Well, they're talking about like refunding the tickets and getting 4 new tickets so we can sit together. It's like $50. They got American dollars. They don't give a fuck.
Oh God, this sounds like way too much effort. Don't put them out that much, Hendo. I'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll make it happen, mate. Don't worry.
Anyway,
here's my fucking British India Pale Ale.
Wow, it's a bit red looking, is it? Oh, I guess it's a multi sort of activity going on.
Yeah. Yeah. Very herbaceous and earthy. Oh, yeah. That's different. If you, you know how you get those IPAs that have all of the nice tropical fruit hops and all sort of stuff?
It's not that.
Not that. Nah,
No.
Definitely not that.
It's all right.
But still bloody tasty. Oh, yeah, we're set. Yeah, we're sorting you out for tickets, mate. This is going to be great. Okay, so yeah, so fucking let's yeah, what are we doing? What was I talking about?
we're gonna do actual beer news because otherwise we're gonna go for an hour.
Yeah, go on.
We have one bit of news.
Mighty Craft.
Mighty Craft. They've sold Foghorn, Jetty Road, and possibly Better Beer.
I wonder who they sold Foghorn to.
I'd love that information. Yeah.
I hope that Sean Sherlock actually bought out the remainder of his company, bought back the remainder of his company.
Wouldn't they have said that if that was the case though? Or
well, maybe the ink hasn't dried yet.
Okay.
So maybe look, I'm not going to speculate. That would be nice if Sean Sherlock did buy his own brewery back. That would be very cool. Yeah, Jetty Road, which they owned 100% of, they're selling that.
Mm.
And Better Beer, the darling of the portfolio.
Remember a few weeks ago, I suggested that on this very podcast. And
I know.
You kind of laughed at me.
You're a reasonably smart guy. And I'm like, fucking send it, mate. You know, I don't know what they're going to do now. What are they going to do when they don't have Better Beer and Foghorn and Jetty Road, their biggest brands? What's left?
Well, I think, like I said on the podcast, I think the smart move is to sell the thing that's worth something and then shut everything else down.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
Like their wording was they're trying to weigh up whether the sale of the Better Beer is in the best interest of the shareholders. So
yes,
the shareholders either sell this asset that's worth a lot, potentially get some sort of an exit, or they keep things going as is, keep losing money, ultimately a downward spiral. Like, doesn't that sound to you like it's, why don't we just sell this and wrap everything up and at least the shareholders get something?
Yes, because it's certainly the valuation of the businesses that they're trying to sell, not the valuation of Mighty Craft itself.
No.
And it's definitely, you got a sense there's some circling of the drain potentially happening.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, I mean, if your point is true, if they're able to sell them back to the original founders, which, I mean, I doubt that's true. If it is, it could be a good news story in the end, I suppose.
Isn't it? Doesn't that make it founders first again?
There you go. Wow. That's too soon.
That's so funny.
It'll be interesting to see what happens with Better Beer, because I think the kind of investor they need it's not an ASX listed company, because
no,
like Mighty Craft talk about giving shareholder returns and dividends. This is a fast growing business. They're not going to be giving any dividends to anybody. They want like growth investors.
Yes.
So I'm assuming that
profitability.
Someone who wants to be involved in
and profitability, which just doesn't. It's hard to get in FMCG. So
yeah, I mean they ultimately would want some kind of a sale. I would assume. And if they get the right investors who are prepared to give them some money, inject some money into growth, knowing that they're not going to make money anytime soon, it's 100% private. They don't need to do quarterly earnings calls. They don't need a dividend. They just need to grow the company in an attempt to sell it. Then good for Better Beer.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure they'll sort something out there, and let's see what happens, I suppose. But
it is a bummer though. Like it's a bummer that this group that, you know, people are talking about this as this like revolutionary thing for craft beer, where they're going to put founders first, and you know, Brews News were talking about it like it was this new great thing, and people would have bought into that. And it was just a bunch of guys who wanted to make money off a fast-growing industry in the end.
Yes,
and
of course.
It didn't
and
work.
It's not fast-growing
all
anymore.
The founders of these companies got screwed over, pretty much.
I listened to this really good podcast, and I would recommend this if you like listening to us fucking rabbit on about the fucking woes of the brewing industry. There's a podcast called How Not to Start a Damn Brewery.
Oh God.
Right. And this guy had a brewing company and it went broke. And he writes for Brewbound and that sort of thing as well.
Okay.
And the latest episode was I listened to it when I was took my kegs down to Yatla to go and drop off kegs for the indies and stuff like that. And I'm listening to this going, fuck, this is too close to home, man. All the stuff that's going on in the US and all that sort of thing. And
what is he talking about? Mistakes he's made, or like what's the purpose of the podcast?
Oh, he is interviewing a guy from a consulting company that goes into craft brewing businesses and helps to turn them around and be profitable, right? So some of the things they were talking about, right, was like you get a home brewer, right, who goes pro. They've got this really good porter, and they go brew this porter commercially, and it wins a gold medal or a trophy in a competition and all that sort of stuff, and it becomes their biggest selling beer. But because it's a homebrew recipe that's not been brewed for profitability, this beer, which was just a fucking game-changing beer, a really well awarded beer, loses money every time they sell it. Right?
Yeah.
And the new paradigm shift for brewing companies what it needs to be is sell the fucking beers that make fucking money,
100%.
right? Because that's where we're at now, right?
And to do that,
days
you
of
need to have. This the one really big lesson for me is you really, really need to understand the unit economics of the product.
Yes.
We've talked about it on here before, but that whole thing around inventory and managing
where's your money
perfectly, it's so fucking critical. And I worry that a lot of breweries, because one of the things we struggle with was Zero is not good at inventory. And there's lots of different ways to fix that. It's definitely possible to use Zero and Beer30 and other tools. But this, the reason why this came up recently is because this business I'm looking at uses MyOb. And so I started looking into MyOb again because this business is already using that. And MyOb is, I mean, I would have.
Yikes.
Oh my God. But like, I used to hate MyOb more than I've hated anything in my entire life. And so I was thinking, okay, it's been 15 years. It's probably way better now. And I got in there today. I signed up for it. I was immediately sent to a .exe file to install it. And I'm like, well, I mean, you can't even run that on a
What?
Mac. I don't even know how to do that. And I'm like, wait, how do I log in? So I log in and it's got a thing that says, here are your businesses, and there's none there. No link to add them, no link to the homepage, nothing. No email saying what to do. There was a phone number you could call. I rang the phone number, waited for 10 minutes, no answer. It was a live chat, but it's all automated and no answers on there. There was a help thing, and it basically said you have to install Windows on your Mac to be able to set up.
Oh, as a virtual machine. Oh, wonderful.
I couldn't fucking believe it. But the the point of the story is you have to be fucking good at inventory. And if you don't understand what's happening with not just like the unit economics of the product, but the comings and goings of your stock and where they sit in the balance sheet and the P&L, then you're never going to know how much the beer actually costs to make, which to your point, you're never going to be able to sell it for a profit because you don't know how much it costs.
Yes. Yeah. It's just, yeah, you've got to make beers for profit. I mean, it's that's where we're at now, you know, like there was a really interesting conversation that was had on this podcast that consumers, they care about who makes the beer or who's creating the beers and stuff like that, but they care less about where it's made, right? And that's why you can have like a business like, say, Brewdog, for instance, where they make all their own beers, but then they have bars around that represent the brand.
Yeah.
And people get to know the Brewdog brand. They get touchy-feely with the people, and, you know, James Watt and Martin Dickey and all that sort of stuff via those tap rooms, but there's no brewery there, and it's irrelevant, you know. Even when I was in Hawaii, I went to the Maui Brewing Company tap room. It was fucking great. It's good service, good beers. You know, had a good time, and you know, there's just some breweries need to rethink their business model, you know, on what they're doing, and same as what's happening here is that if you try and start a brewery that's for wholesale in 2023, you're fucking crazy.
But on that point, like, how many breweries have a big enough brand to be able to pull off? Because, like, okay, in theory, it sounds good. Go to the tap room. They don't need to have a brewery there. No one cares where it's made. But really, people like going to a place where they make the product. That's the whole reason this whole brew pub thing kicked off. And like, how many brands have actually been able to do that successfully?
I don't think so.
Well, you tried it with your brand.
Yeah. Well, but I didn't know how to run a bar.
No, but it's fucking hard, Hendo, because like
I fucking know it's hard.
Because you essentially are not having a point of difference when people go to your venue. You can go anywhere and get, you know, any number of beers. So you go into this venue, you're only getting their beers. Like, why go to the venue? Like,
yeah, that's right.
It makes it. I mean, I know what you're saying. It's cheaper, but it's kind of the whole appeal of the whole thing was that the product is made there and it's a better experience.
The thing that I sort of took away the most about it, right, was like, you know, these guys were walking into this consulting company is walking into breweries, going, oh well, this is one of your flagship products, and it's got 6 different fucking hops in it, and you could cut that down to 2, and the beer would still taste the same, and be cheaper to make.
Yeah, that's fair.
You wouldn't compromise any of the flavor in the beer and anything like that.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, your procurement becomes easier. Your production becomes easier. Everything just becomes easier. Therefore, it becomes cheaper to make, but you still got a good beer.
Yeah, but the product's not the same, isn't it? I mean, isn't that exactly what all the majors do when they take over the craft breweries and they make it profitable, which is awesome for the business, but
Well,
not
they've
what,
got
it's
to
not
be
what
they've
we
got to be
want.
sustainable businesses at the end of the day, mate. You know,
True.
no one starts a brewery to make $1 million or anything like that. You know, they do it because they love it and they're passionate about it. We've both been there,
Yeah.
right? But you have to, you know, in this and when the growth was there, right? You could get away with it, but the growth's not there anymore. So you have to be motivated by, you have to be motivated by sustainability in your business, which means profitability. Well, someone's got to pay the bills, someone's got to pay the rent, someone's got to keep the lights on. And that's super important, you know. And, you know, if you're running a brewing business inefficiently and other places that other outlets for your beer are paying a higher price because we're going to the Suns, mate. They just bought 4 more tickets together. Sick. And so
much money. We should give them a plug on the bloody podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's do that, actually. Yeah. So if you run a brewery, then, and if you're using things like paper logs and whiteboards and all that sort of stuff to track your raw materials, your work in progress, your work production and fermentation and packaging and cellar and all that sort of stuff, also your distribution and that sort of thing. If you're using spreadsheets and whiteboards and all that sort of stuff, you're not doing it the right way in 2023. So get yourself Beer 30. It's an amazing product. I've worked with the Beer 30 guys for the last 5.5 years now. You used it at Black Hops, still use it at Black Hops, and it's an amazing product that will make you money and help you to run your business more profitably. If you want to know, if you're pouring beer across your bar and you want to know how much that pint of beer you just sold cost you to make, Beer 30 is the thing that's going to give you the answer to it. So it's by the Fifth Ingredient. So if you head to the fifthingredient.com, you could probably go to beer30.com, I'd imagine. But the fifthingredient.com, go book yourself a demo and tell them Hendo sent you.
Very good. Yeah, no, on the topic of inventory, I've spent quite a bit of time with Beer 30 in inventory because it was actually the last thing I worked on before I left, was trying to figure out how to manage all of that with the way Beer 30 works. And the inventory tools in there are pretty damn good. You definitely need to know what you're doing in terms of, like, you need to know what you don't know, but anything you want to do with inventory can be done in there. And that's it's something that was quite surprising to me, because I was kind of looking around there. I'm like, you can actually do a lot with Beer 30. And yeah, like you were saying before, it's more important than ever now, because if you don't know your numbers and you're not making money, then
your beer is your bank account, basically. They're the one and the same thing. So
also,
you've just got to be on top of it.
The best support from any software I've ever experienced.
Oh my God.
By a mile.
Absolutely. You know, like the fact that all the support's done on WhatsApp, and, you know, it's like, if you know, other softwares out there, that the brewery management softwares, which are cheaper, what they'll do is, if you've got a question, you have to email your question, then you got to wait like a day and that sort of thing. And then they might send you to go watch a video and that sort of thing. Not Beer 30. You know, it's not the cheapest product, but by God, the support is absolutely phenomenal. 80% of their calls, I believe, get responded to within 15 minutes, and it's all done via WhatsApp.
It depends. Here in Australia, what you're comparing it to as well. There's some.
Well, exactly. So indeed, and there's lots of choices out there and that sort of thing these days. But to the point where, you know, the Fifth Ingredient guys are so committed to Australia that actually hired Lindsay to be a local support person on our time zone, and that sort of thing. And that's how committed they are to really good customer experience, you know.
Does that mean PK sleeps now, or does he still not sleep?
No, he's in New Zealand at the moment. So I'm talking to him now, and he's actually on a reasonable time frame and that sort of thing.
Right. Well, this has been the longest fucking ad read of all time.
Yeah, it is. It's our first, really, isn't it?
It's a pretty good one.
Yeah, awesome.
All right. What's next? Next news story. All right. A couple of articles about tax increases for beer.
Yeah, only 2% this half year.
So the
2.2%.
news.com, I mean, there's a news.com article every time there's an excise increase.
They do it every time.
Association goes on
well,
about
I do want to call that article about IBA calling for indexation for the excise remission
I like
scheme.
that one. That sounds like a sensible
I think that's super important, and I think that's the next thing that the IBA needs to lobby the government for, and that sort of thing, right? So basically, the excise remission scheme, which means that a brewery, an excise manufacturer, gets $350,000 per year excise free, kind of like your tax free threshold and your personal income tax. It's pretty much that. However, it's not indexed. So basically, what happens is twice a year the excise goes up, but that $350,000 remains $350,000. So if we look at the February increase, was 7% excise increase. So that $350,000 was reduced by 7%.
Yeah.
Times 0.07, which means that $350,000 was reduced by $24,500.
Right.
And became $315,000.
Yeah.
Right. So every year, every indexation, it gets whittled away. And that if you're gonna index the tax, index the rebate.
100%.
It's kind of like bracket
too.
creep. It's bracket creep.
Yeah. If you
happens
just,
with personal income tax all the time.
I think it makes sense. If he's going to go on about reducing it or pausing it or whatever, they're probably just never going to agree to that. But the indexing just makes perfect sense. It's logical.
Yes.
I feel like that's something they'll agree to.
Yes. And it's not unreasonable.
No.
But the thing is that the complexity there is they're going to have to do it for wine, for the wet as well.
Dude, I walked into a bottle shop yesterday at Isle of Capri, which is my new local.
Yes.
They have a little bit of beer, but the first thing, they've got a really good wine guy in there. And first thing he said when I went in there, because I was looking at the beer, he's like, no one's going to buy beer anymore. Everyone's just going to buy wine because spirits and beer just went up by 10%. As we told me yesterday.
Right.
The day that excise thing was announced, I was like, all right, dude.
Did you say, mate, too?
No, I didn't. I'm like, whatever.
Did you just fucking zip it? Just
yeah. No, I don't care. I'm not gonna fight.
You don't care anymore. Yeah, good.
No, but yeah, it's funny. It's funny because of these news.com articles. Every time it's like beer's going up, but really it's just kind of going up with inflation, like everything else is going up. Right. Every other story we've got is about VAs, pretty much. Oh no, hang on. We've got
Epic
VA,
VA,
and then a Gap, and then a couple of other VAs. So this one I saw a lot. There's a lot of people upset about this one.
I'm upset about it.
Yeah, important brewery.
Luke Nicholas is a good mate of mine, and it's a business that he's operated for fucking 15 years. You know, and
wow,
yeah,
wow.
And to see it go under is phenomenal. I remember first seeing Epic when Epic was brand new, and I went. I left Perth. I got divorced or separated, moved to Queensland, and decided I was going to ride my motorcycle back to Perth for some stupid reason. And I rode to Melbourne, and went to the first. It was like some brewery showcase or something like that out at the Flemington Showgrounds, and there was all these brands of beer there and all that sort of stuff, and there was Epic, and the beers were amazing, and you know, over the years, gotten to know Luke very well. Got to know him particularly well in 2011 when I went over to the US with Dave Summergreen, the beer mill, or the Qantas pilot, who mules beer around, and tried my first Hop Zombie in Denver, Colorado, which was just a fucking game changer beer.
Yeah.
And I was drinking Epic beer for, you know, at least a couple of years and not even realizing that it was pasteurized. And so it's always been 100% contract brewery, and you know, and Luke's really revolutionized the game with regards to producing a really good product that's shelf stable, which was built for export, and it cost him a fortune in hops to get those beers pasteurized and shelf stable and still hoppy. It's fucking much respect on a technical brewing level for that to happen. And you know, Luke doesn't gel with everybody. He's got a very brash personality and a very abrasive sense of humor, but I like him, you know, and and to see them sort of go into it wasn't VA, man. It was liquidation. So it's not administration. It was liquidation.
Sorry, yes.
And so that situation where they were going to build a brewery, which would have solved a lot of problems for the business, not having to produce contract beers in large amounts and service their tap room and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. In liquidation, you never know what's going to happen, because the most valuable thing in a contract brewing company, same as it was with mine, is the brand, which was worth the most money.
So
someone might pick up the brand.
Did they not have a brewery?
No, never.
Never had a brewery.
I had a tap room, but I've never had a brewery. All their beer comes out of Steam Brewery in wherever it is, Auckland.
Damn.
Something like that.
I wonder how big the business. I guess a lot of export. They probably have a lot of incentives for export, do they? Or maybe not as much as we do.
Yeah, it was always a brand that was always built around export and that sort of thing. It was just where the growth was, and
yeah. What do you have to do in New Zealand because the market's so small?
Well, exactly. So yeah, amazing stuff. And that's where I sort of discovered Citra hops, and mate, it's very sad. I reached out to Luke and sort of said, mate, I've been in your fucking situation, mate. So if you need anything, but he's got lots of support and stuff like that. And I really feel for Luke, and he'll have a future maybe a future in the industry if he wants it, or if not, he might just go, fuck it, I'm done.
That's a long time to be in the industry. I'm guessing
it's a long time to be on the grind in your own business and that sort of thing. And again, it just goes to show that you got to be profitable and cash flow positive and have a business. And I think there's a very good high run rate now on contract brewing businesses that no longer exist. And I think the ones that exist now that have longevity are the OG brands like McKellar and Evil Twin and all that sort of stuff that are still around. Right.
I mean, how many?
Because they service a niche and they sell their beer at a premium price.
Right. Yeah. I mean, but even non-contract, just surviving that period from then to now, how many businesses have dropped off in terms of just that relevance, going from big bottles to the way beer is now.
Name one Australian contract brewery business or gypsy brewing business that's been around more than 5 years. There might be a couple, but it wouldn't be very many.
I mean, it's not just gypsy brewers, though, is it? It's every brewery. It's name one that hasn't sold that's been around anywhere near as long as that. Not many.
Indeed.
Yeah, it's sad. It was nice to see a lot of people talking about it. It's definitely one of the more influential beers that I had when I started getting into it, because it was sort of that era.
Yeah. But Luke will bounce back, as he will inevitably do, and as you do, it's tough at the time, but he'll be fine.
It is. It's a lot of fucking years to put into something and leave with nothing. It's fucking.
What other VAs have we got? Sans drinks.
We've got these non-alc ones. So this.
I thought they were the same thing. Sans drinks. What's the booze-free bottle shop? Is that what it's called? Booze-free bottle shop?
No, wasn't that a different one? Let me look at this one. Wasn't Sans drinks?
Or is that Sans drinkers as well?
Hang on. Disrupt booze-free bottle shop, Northern Beaches business is now in administration. I think that's a different one, isn't it?
Okay.
Maybe that is Sans. I put this one in a week or so ago because now the link doesn't work, of course. All right, whatever. That was a bottle shop. But yeah, Sans drinks. I don't know. I don't really know much.
Man,
non-alc drinks, but
come on, say it. Say it.
What do you say?
Say, why the fuck would you have a bottle shop that does alcohol-free drinks?
I was thinking that. I won't
Come
lie.
on, everyone's thinking it. Just fucking say it.
I don't want to be a hater. We're already.
Do you know what a bottle shop that only does non-alcoholic drinks is called?
Shop.
Fucking supermarket. Now, no disrespect to alcohol-free drinks. It's really fucking important, right?
No,
that category exists. But I think it's kind of like, do you know what it's like? It's like those vegan veggie patties that try to wrap meat marketing terms and stuff around it. And have you frozen? You frozen? Have I frozen? Oh, you're right.
You went a little bit.
The meat, those vegan meat, those vegan meat things that try and wrap meat terms around something that's vegetarian or vegan and that sort of thing, and they're trying to go, hey, this is like meat, but it's not meat. And that's the same with the alcohol-free bottle shops. It's like, hey, we're alcohol, but we're not alcohol. And there's just something about alcohol being an intoxicant that's the reason why people drink it, and you got to recognize that.
Yeah, I agree. I also wonder if that same thing is true about these alcohol-free bars, because I don't know if, like, the category is important because it's good for someone to have an option when they're out socializing or when they're at dinner or whatever. But do adults really want to go to a place and hang out and drink soft drink?
Destination. Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, I'm skeptical.
That's right. And the answer is no. Or there might be a subset of people who want to do that, and that's fine. Good on you. But in general, the people that the alcohol-free category is super, super important, right? But it services a niche of it services a subset of alcohol drinkers or people who choose not to drink alcohol around those that drink alcohol.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So it'll be interesting because I know we've got like sober opening up. I'm assuming they've got a tap room going in or a restaurant.
Yeah. And a brewery.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Brewery makes sense, but I'm curious about what the tap room is going to be like because, I mean, if we're right, no one's going to be there. If we're wrong, then it's going to be going off.
Maybe we'll be wrong.
I hope we're wrong. Well, I
hope we're wrong.
Yeah, I hope for Luke's sake and for them. But yeah,
Dr.
it
Clinton
seems like an
and all that
unusual
sort of
idea.
stuff. Yeah. Luke's a fucking legend. Can I just shout out Luke because he helped me out today, big time. Old Coop.
Ask him his thoughts.
No, I want to call out some really good mate fucking action today. So basically, getting ready for for BrewCon, and I've got the smart sensory stand. So if you're a brewery and you want to implement a sensory system, a sensory program at your brewery, going to be at the stand 53 or 56 or something like that at BrewCon. Anyway, the BrewCon organisers today pulled this old chestnut. Basically says if you don't have your own liquor license, then you've got to pay $500 a day to use the Gold Coast Convention Centre's liquor license.
What?
And so because we're going to be serving drinks with flavour standards in it, I'm like, fuck.
No.
All right. And so I think outside the box, and I said, and because we're going to use like Tui's Extra and that sort of thing. I said, think outside the box. Let's not use alcohol. And I went, Luke's got his fucking TLC lager. And I said, hey, can I get a few boxes of that, to do flavour stands? Because it'll work, right? Because we've had it on the show. And I went, that's a bloody good, tasty fucking lager, that's alcohol-free. And so he's like, he said, yeah, I'll just swing you a few cases. And I said, do I owe you any money? He goes, no, it's good.
Nice.
Champion. What a bloody champion.
Interesting. So you can't even you could have done samples of beer. I don't give a fuck about that, surely.
No, you can't serve alcohol unless you use their liquor license. It was
really?
Yeah.
Wow. Even if it's free, even if it's a sample situation.
Yep. Because you're serving alcohol.
Interesting. Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Good on him.
Anyway, so problem solved. If you want to come and try some flavour stands, you're still going to be able to smell the flavour stands. It's not about the beer; it's about the flavour stands. So get stuck in.
All right, one more before the Hendo Reacts all 12 questions. Maybe we'll.
What you got?
Inquiry into market dominance of the majors. This was a interesting one. So I don't really understand what these inquiries are, but there's basically some sort of federal inquiry into the market dominance, and there's some comments in here from Richard Addison and Tim Cooper about the dominance of the majors, and it's all pretty good information.
It's a great argument. That picture at the top there is a really good picture that's got a picture of a set of shelves in a probably a Dan Murphy's or something like that shows all of the brands and the shelf space that's being used by supermarket themselves. Now, what we're experiencing here is not a new phenomenon. All right. So you think about what's happened in supermarkets, and it's been around for at least 30 years, 30 plus years, is supermarket brands, right? Where the supermarket gets vertically integrated. Happens everywhere, exactly. Where the supermarket goes and makes their own, has their own equivalent product, contract brewed or contract manufactured, sorry, and they basically can sell the product cheaper than the brand name stuff. But the thing is that the brand name stuff, so the the home brand stuff is usually produced in the same factory anyways.
Yeah.
So the difference being, right? So in this situation, we've got the supermarket's contract brewing beer, right? And it's only coming out of a few, maybe a handful of breweries in Australia that are able to produce the capacity or the volume that the supermarkets require.
Yeah.
Right.
One that just got all of their balance sheet cleared by not paying their suppliers.
Exactly. Yeah. Who wins out of that?
Well, that was my point about the tribe, the whole tribe situation.
Exactly. Supermarkets win out of that because they didn't lose anything.
If people are going to make the beer for them for next to nothing, then they're just going to sell it cheaper, and everyone else
exactly.
Is over.
And so basically, so whereas in the food industry, there's a lot of food manufacturers, and you can go, it's a lot of choice with regards to going and making certain food products that will ultimately become supermarket branded food. But with beer, it's very concentrated on less than half a dozen in the whole country.
Yeah.
Right. Because they have the manufacturing capacity. Like not every craft brewery has the ability to go and make, to contract brew, a small batch is 10,000 cases, small batch. And so so all this shelf space being taken up. Now, some of these beers, I don't know if you ever tried some of these supermarket brand beers. Not too bad.
Not for a long time.
They're not bad. But what's happening here? This article speaks about it, in the context that it's a new phenomenon, and it's not. It's been done with food for 30, 40 years and that sort of thing. Where the supermarket goes and makes their own product because they want to increase their margin and they channel the sales through their own stuff. And they get vertically integrated.
No, what is
food
right now is they're getting so much better.
The same company that makes Tim Tams. Well, exactly. But the thing is that with food, it's you have an Arnott's Tim Tam, and then you have the Aldi Yim Yam, right, sitting right next to it on the same shelf, but it comes out of the same factory. Right now, Arnott's don't give a fuck about making it because they're like, oh, we'll make Yim Yams instead of Tim Tams because we can make it cheaper because we don't have to spend any money on marketing and branding and all that sort of stuff. It's just like we just sell the volume and it's done. We make the same margin, but with beer, it's not the same. That's the real issue.
Yeah.
So on one sense, I'm like, this is not new. Can't really complain about supermarkets getting themselves vertically integrated because it's happened a lot before in other food items. But on the flip side, fuck, that's a lot of shelf space that's owned by the supermarkets.
Well, plus if you add on to that, which of those beers are owned by the two major brewing companies, like how much space is actually left for anyone else? Like pretty much nothing.
The independents? You mean independent beer?
There you go, independent beer. I don't have an answer. I don't have any fucking answers, but it's not cool. It's not going to be good.
That shelf though.
This is an old image. That they've used this image a few times before.
Yeah.
This is not a new image.
Yeah, there's Black Hops. I can see a Bent Spoke. There's Atomic. That's Gage Rose. That's independent. This is a thing, right? And to see, it's good to see Dr. Tim and Richard Adamson, lobbying government, that sort of thing. There are some things that the Australian Brewers Association needs to align with the IBA on and that sort of thing. But again, I think that Cooper's is independent beer.
Look at this. Like you went through that list. I think you named almost the only ones in here that were independent. Like since this is taken, 4 Pines are sold. Stone and Wood. I mean, I don't know how old it is. James Squire used to be. So a lot of these brands used to be craft beer and have since sold out. They're still in there. Stone and Wood have sold. They're still in there. Is that fucking bottom left? Is that Four Hearts? What is that? That's so old.
Are you looking at the picture?
Is that Four Hearts?
Larry down there in the bottom right. Where?
How old is this image?
Yeah. There's a Heads of Noosa up the top left.
So Ferrell sold to Coke.
There's Ferrell there.
Ferrell's
There's Biggie
there.
Juice there.
James Squire.
There's a two bird. I don't see on
Aaron
Henry's.
Woolies.
Interesting, isn't it?
That's Woolies. Kosciuszko sold. They were independent at one point. Panhead have sold their line, aren't they? White Rabbit have sold their line.
That's line, yeah.
I mean, it's basically Stone and Wood have sold. So it's basically Cooper's fucking. There's like 3 independent brands in this entire photo, and this isn't even new. So yeah, it's fucking tough. I don't have any answers, but it is tough. It's quite good. All right, some good news.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Let's do some Hendo's Reacts.
Hendo Reacts. Hendo Reacts. Okay, I'll share my screen, eh?
Yeah, screen. An audio.
Okay.
It can be quick.
It
can be quick.
Oh, I've got do audio. Sorry, I stopped audio.
And I don't know how the rules. We keep getting kicked off YouTube, but this one is not on YouTube, but it is playing video. So I don't know.
All right. Facebook link. Am I in this group? Yes. Where's the sound?
Okay, so this is some kind of beer can regatta.
Oh, they're making beer floats. What a great idea. That one looks sturdy. That's a sturdy ship.
Or maybe both out of beer.
Oh, it's in Northern Territory. Oh, they're just wrecking all those boats. Oh my god. That's not even made of beer can.
What is that? That's just like a blow up castle.
There's the police. That looks like fun. That looks like fun. That's a lot of
Someone in Darwin just broke the world record for driving underneath water for the longest amount of time.
Driving underneath water? What?
Yeah, like they drove a Land Cruiser, an electrified FJ under the Darwin Harbour with snorkels.
Snorkel. So good. Am I doing the second one?
Second one. I don't think our internet's good enough to do video on video, but this is it's fucking pretty hilarious. This probably won't work because our internet's my internet's probably fucked.
He is just scorching the backside of the track.
We barely have a drone fast enough to keep up with Corey Bellamore.
Let's see what he's got. Let's see what he's got in the tank.
Pops that bottle cap and so
Drinking beer running
He's going to be ahead of world record pace right here.
It is not
right here.
Golly, those beers go down fast.
World record pace.
But right now, it's all Corey Bellamore.
Under 2:18.
Oh, he's getting hammered.
All right, we're 4 seconds. We are 4 seconds below. This is Corey Bellamore.
Does it actually have a tab?
He is absolutely busting this race wide open.
Something happened. Corey Bellamore has had a mechanical, if we were watching the Tour de France right now. He's got a flat tire. The guy is on world record pace with one spike. This is absolutely incredible. You know he's blistering the bottom of his foot with every stride.
There it is.
And here goes Corey Bellamore. What does he have?
He is right at world record pace right now. Come on, Corey. Let's see what he's got. Look at that grimace right there. He is coming, and at the line, it's going to be just shy of his world record.
My gosh, if he had 2 shoes, what was he capable of today?
That is funny. I love it.
How good is that? Your audio is so loud. Just like turn it down a little.
Thanks. Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Link number 3 of the Facebook video. Here we go. Am I in this group?
Well, I think I've sorted the group issue out.
Oh, okay. It's not a video. Neutzer Klosterbrauerei, a historic German brewery with nearly 500 years of experience. Groundbreaking invention promised to transfer the way beer is enjoyed. The impressive powdered. I've seen this before. Powdered lager, powdered beer.
Yeah,
this is not new news. This is they fucking drag this shit up once a year. That there's a company that's created powdered beer, and I'm pretty sure it's fake. But yeah, no, it's not even a thing.
I think I've sold the Facebook issue by, if I see something in a Facebook group, I'll just go directly to the source.
The source, yeah, that's a good idea.
So problem solved.
Yeah, you're smart.
All right. Let's get to these questions. We got to
Send it.
fucking wrap this thing up. It's late as shit.
Yeah, we've been going 2 hours, hour
Yeah,
and a half.
There's probably not that many questions.
Can I just show you this before you get the 12 questions up?
Yeah.
One of the things I got in Hawaii, Jack
There you go.
Daniels and Coke Zero. Not
Coke Zero.
Jack Daniels and Zero Sugar Cola, fucking actual Coke Zero.
Love that.
They
7%
have these stores in Hawaii called ABC stores, and it's like a mini mart that's got fucking everything. Did you see my raver hat that I bought with the fucking smiley faces on it, the bucket hat?
I don't
that was
think
my
so.
last day. I was sitting. I want to sit on the beach. I forgot to bring a hat. ABC store comes through with the goods. Got a fucking cool bucket hat and a 6-pack of piss for $20.
How good's America?
Great. And this is fucking 355 mils, 7% alcohol.
Very
How
standard.
many fucking standos? Let me just do the quick calcs.
Oh, they don't tell you? They don't give a shit.
7 times 0.355 times 0.789. 1 point. There's 2 standos in that.
That's pretty good.
I think I'm going to drink it after this.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Send it. All right. Okay, we've only got 2 questions. That's good because it's been dragging on for a while. Right. David Jackson, on the excise tax topic, can gypsy contract brewers claim the 300k alcohol excise rebate, or do you have to actually have a brewing facility to be able to claim it?
You actually have to have a brewing facility to be able to claim it. It does not have to be one that is capable of claiming the full $350,000. So there are breweries that have existed that have little 50-litre breweries that have an excise license, but then go contract brew the majority of their stuff elsewhere and still claim the full $350,000.
Oh, that's sneaky.
I see that loophole being closed imminently, but yes.
But so wouldn't they be paying excise to the contract brewer in the fee?
So no, you set up a continuing permission.
Oh, I see. Right.
Yeah. So you set up a continuing permission so you can transfer the beer under bond from the contract brewery to the host brewery, which then goes and transfers it to their 3PL. So I don't know how long that loophole is going to hang around for.
Didn't hear about that first on this podcast.
Currently, you can do that, and it's totally legal.
We should cut that out because someone's making.
This is not legal advice.
No. All right. Pete Weldon says decent week in the news. Yeah, there's a lot of news items.
Yeah, it's huge.
None particularly good.
I actually went to a gig with him last Saturday night.
Yeah,
we went to the Regurgitator. Yeah, I saw the tickets, and Smokey and I had seen Custard before down at Currumbin RSL, and I said, "Oh, this fucking Regurgitator, Custard, front end loader, the Stress of Leisure, the Foves, man." And I was like, I said, "Mate, we're going," and he goes, "Fuck yeah, let's go." And so it was at Felon's Barrel Hall.
Nice.
And it was such a good venue for a gig.
Any barrel aged beers there? Oh no.
Yeah, we were standing around the barrels, right? And so, but the thing is that all of the not so smart people were lining up at the bar for pints, but literally 2 steps away there was a can bar.
Oh, you got to go to the can.
And we were just smashing cans at Felon's Crisp. I was having a fucking ball.
Fuck yeah. How's
that so good? Yeah, it's great. Beers are good. I love it.
No, they're Currumbin, guys.
Oh, there's a lot of construction going on. They reckon it's going to be open in the next few weeks. So,
oh shit, yeah,
nice. Outside broadcast, I see in our future.
Let's go down during the brew. Oh, you're probably too busy that week. Too much going
on. We're going to the footy.
Yeah, okay, sweet.
We've got tickets to the footy. We've got 4 seats. Ryan went and just bought another fucking 4 tickets to the footy.
Oh my god!
And we'll probably just scalp the other tickets, so it's all good.
I could probably find a buyer for the other tickets. I'll see if my kids want to go. I'll fucking get.
Oh, okay.
Get my kids.
Yeah, all right. I'll just drop them a note to say, that might happen. There's 3 tickets. So anyway, we're going to footy next couple of weeks. Awesome. I'm off to South Africa. So if you want to see me get shot or get eaten by a lion, you can follow me at Rockstar Brewer or Sir Hendo and on Instagram, and come and join the fun because I'm doing socials now apparently, because that's what all the cool people are doing.
Fuck yeah.
And going to be at the beer boot camp in Johannesburg. I fly out at 3:00 in the morning on Sunday morning. It's going to be great. Imagine get the airport at midnight.
This coming
and
Sunday, you're flying.
Yeah, flying out via Dubai. So 13 and a half hours to Dubai, and then 8.5 hours down to Joburg.
Oh, God.
So it should be pretty good. And never been to Africa before, ever, the continent.
That'll be fun.
So I'm really, really pumped for it. And I'm going on safari, and I hope to see all of the animals.
I saw a video today of an elephant painting an elephant. Do you think that was real, or do you think that was bullshit? I saw it on TikTok.
Yeah,
with his trunk.
Of course you did.
Get TikTok and search for it. Okay.
Yeah, rightio. Fuck that. I downloaded CapCut, which is like a video editing app for your phone.
Right.
And guess who owns CapCut?
ByteDance.
TikTok. Yeah, ByteDance.
Yeah.
So I've got all the spyware on my phone.
You're the spyware anyway. You may as well get TikTok.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, as soon as I put it on there, all the ads changed.
Yeah.
The
Yeah. There's all
socials.
kinds of weird shit going on there. So no podcast next week, or get a fill in, or what's the time zone?
That's a great question. If you're prepared to do the podcast earlier in the day, I could actually do it in the morning.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm flexible.
So to do so if I did Thursday morning, it was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon or something like that.
Yeah.
I think we can do that.
All right. Well, we'll see if we can line it up. You just let me know. No pressure. If we line it up, we'll do it. If not, we'll get someone else in.
If we can do it, if we can do an outside broadcast from Johannesburg, that'd be sick.
That would be sick.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, mate.
Catch you from Joburg.
Ideally. Sounds good. Enjoy that Jack Daniels and Coca-Cola.
Thanks, man. Laters.